everyone, welcome back to the channel The Novel Trading. I'm Urvana Kapur, your trading psychologist and performance coach. This is the fifth episode of our series, Emotions While Trading. If you haven't watched the other episodes, do watch them too after this, as I have discussed some major emotions like fear, greed, hope, FOMO that have an impact on trading. I discussed their effects and my professional recommendations on how to overcome and handle them. The link to the playlist is flashing on the right side corner of the screen. So, today I'm going to discuss about an emotion that might not affect the trader's profit directly, but definitely has an impact on his trading mindset. That is regret. जिसे हिंदी में हम कहते हैं पछतावा होना. Regret of entering into a losing trade or regret of not entering a profitable trade at all. Before I begin this session on regret, let me ask you a few questions. Have you ever experienced that when you enter a trade and it starts going in the opposite direction, you notice that you have taken the trade against your setup and you start feeling regretful of not following your system and entering into this losing trade? Or does it happen with you that out of fear or lack of confidence, you don't enter a particular trade at all? And when it starts going into your direction, you end up regretting that you should have taken this trade and made good profits. क्या आपके साथ भी ऐसा होता है कि आप किसी ट्रेड में एंटर नहीं करते हैं बिकॉज आपको डर लग रहा है उस ट्रेड में एंटर करने से, उसमें लॉसेस करने से, या फिर आप में कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है ना कि वो ट्रेड सही होगा या नहीं, एंड इसकी वजह से आप उस ट्रेड में एंटर नहीं करते, एंड लेटर ऑन जब वो ट्रेड सक्सेसफुल होता है तब आपको रिग्रेट होता है, ये पछतावा होता है कि मुझे इस ट्रेड में एंटर कर जाना चाहिए था? या कभी ऐसा भी होता है कि आप किसी ट्रेड में एंटर कर जाते हैं और आपने अपना सिस्टम फॉलो नहीं करा होता है, आपने अपने रूल्स फॉलो नहीं करे होते हैं और आपको इस चीज का पछतावा होता है कि मुझे इस ट्रेड में एंटर नहीं करना चाहिए था, ये एक लूजिंग ट्रेड प्रूफ हो गया. दिस वॉइस इज ऑफ योर इमोशन रिग्रेट. इफ यू हैव एक्सपीरियंस दिस और समथिंग सिमिलर टू दिस व्हाइल ट्रेडिंग, then do watch this video, as I have shared a lot of professional recommendations to help you actually overcome this regret emotion from affecting your trading decisions एंड ट्रेडिंग माइंडसेट. अगर आपके साथ भी इसमें से कुछ हुआ है या आपने भी इसमें से कुछ एक्सपीरियंस किया है, देन इस वीडियो को एंड तक देखें, बिकॉज मैंने अपने साइकोलॉजिकल प्रोफेशनल रिकमेंडेशंस दिए हैं जिनको फॉलो करके आप इस रिग्रेट इमोशन को अपने ट्रेडिंग के डिसीजन पे इफेक्ट लाने से बचा सकते हैं. सो फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट, लेट अस डिस्कस व्हाट इज रिग्रेट. बाय डेफिनेशन, रिग्रेट इज अ सेल्फ फोकस्ड negative emotion about something that has happened or been done by us. We feel bad because we did or didn't do something we believe we should or should not have done. It is a negative, cognitive, or emotional state that involves blaming ourselves for a bad outcome. हम अपने आप को blame करते हैं उस bad outcome के लिए. We feel a sense of loss or sorrow at what might have been. क्या हो सकता था, इस बात का हमें बुरा लगता है. और we wish we could undo a previous choice that we made. हमें ये लगता है कि जो हमने चॉइस में ली थी, काश हम उसे उल्टा कर सकें और उस डिसीजन को ना लें. सो दिस इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ रिग्रेट. बट लेट अस लुक एट रिग्रेट एज एन इमोशन फ्रॉम अ साइकोलॉजिकल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, so as to better understand what this emotion is and how it affects our trading decisions. So, in psychology, we have a term, cognitive dissonance, that you feel when you made choices you think you should not have made. Cognitive dissonance refers to the discomfort that you feel when you hold on to two contradictory or mutually incompatible ideas, or when your beliefs are not in harmony with what you do. Let us understand this in a simpler way. There is an ideal self which you want to be, and another is a real self which you actually are. When there is a huge difference between the ideal self and the real self, that is when you feel the discomfort. And this discomfort is typically experienced as guilt, anger, frustration, embarrassment, and most importantly, regret. Let's take two real life examples that traders experience in reference to this cognitive dissonance. ताकि आपको अच्छे से समझ आ पाए cognitive dissonance क्या होता है, हम traders के real life examples लेने की कोशिश करते हैं. As a trader, you want to follow your defined rules and steps of trading, but in real life, you end up taking a trade against it, or by not following the proper rules. And then when the market starts going against your trade, it is then that you experience this regret of entering this trade which is against your ideal setup or rules. आप एज अ ट्रेडर अपने रूल बेस्ड ट्रेडिंग करना चाहते हैं, आपने अपने ऑलरेडी रूल्स बना रखे हैं और उस पर ट्रेडिंग करना चाहते हैं, बट कई बार ऐसा होता है आप किसी ट्रेड में एंटर कर जाते हैं बिना उन रूल्स को फॉलो करे, और जब वो ट्रेड पर्टिकुलरली नेगेटिव डायरेक्शन में जाने लगता है तब आपको रिग्रेट होता है कि मेरे को इस ट्रेड में एंटर ही नहीं करना चाहिए था, राइट? In a second scenario, when you missed a proper trade setup, which was exactly based on your rules, and it actually makes profit, then you feel this discomfort too, as your real self was not in harmony with your ideal self, and it made you miss a golden trade and a short profit. किसी वजह से आप एक ट्रेड में एंटर नहीं करते हैं जो एक्चुअली आपकी प्रॉपर सेटअप के हिसाब से होता है, तो भी आपको इस चीज का रिग्रेट होता है कि आपको इस प्रॉफिटेबल ट्रेड में एंटर कर जाना चाहिए था, right? So these are the two examples of how cognitive dissonance is a part of trading. Now that we have understood regret and its psychological point of view, let's look at regret in trading. Regret is an emotion which can come both ways in trading. That is, a trader could regret placing a trade, or a trader could regret not placing one. In regret, your mind will be clouded with thoughts like, what if I would have placed the trade? I would have made so much profit. I missed out such a golden opportunity. In the second scenarios, you might be thinking, I knew this was going to happen. I should not have taken this trade. It is important to understand and take note of these statements that I just said. As the next time you hear these statements while trading, you will know and you'll be able to acknowledge that you are being clouded by this emotion, regret. And you can take preventive steps that I'll be discussing further in this video. Do watch this video till the end to know my professional recommendation to overcome this powerful emotion, regret, while trading. So let us discuss a few scenarios of regret in trading and how it can impact your trading and your profits as well. So let's take first scenario of the condition where you regret of not entering a trade. Let's say a trader analyzed to take a trade, but at the last moment he decided not to take it and hold back. This can be out of fear of losing. It can be lack of confidence, or due to shadow of previous losses, or contradictory analysis. It can be due to anything. Over time, the instrument actually move in his preferred direction. This triggers regret and may lead a trader to get into a trade even after initially missing out. And this leads to the violation of the trading discipline, as the actual entry point has already been missed. And this could lead to suffering huge losses. आपने एनालिसिस किया और आपको लगा इस ट्रेड में एंटर कर जाना चाहिए, लेकिन किसी वजह से आप में कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं था, या आपको डर लग रहा था, या आप ट्रेड नहीं डाल पा रहे थे, किसी भी वजह से आप उस ट्रेड में एंटर नहीं करते, और वो पर्टिकुलर इंस्ट्रूमेंट उसी डायरेक्शन में जाता है जिसमें आपने प्रेडिक्ट किया था, तो आपको इस चीज का रिग्रेट होता है कि मुझे इस ट्रेड में एंटर कर देना चाहिए था। इस रिग्रेट की वजह से कई बार आप लेट एंट्री भी कर जाते हैं, क्योंकि आपको दिख रहा होता है कि डायरेक्शन वही है और मैंने सही प्रेडिक्ट किया था, तो यू अर्ज योर सेल्फ टू एंटर इन टू दैट ट्रेड, और उस एंट्री और वो एक लेट एंट्री होती है, वो आपको लॉसेस दे सकती है, बिकॉज उस पर्टिकुलर इंस्ट्रूमेंट में मूवमेंट ऑलरेडी आ चुका होता है। Let's take a second scenario of regret of not entering a trade. Let's say a trader was not available on the screen due to any reason. It can be personal engagements or might have been monitoring another chart, and ends up missing a perfect entry based on his setup rules. When he gets back to the screen, he notices that the trade he missed was a very huge winning trade. This situation triggers regret, as the trader blames himself for missing out a golden opportunity, right? So sometimes in this scenario, a trader might enter another trade without proper analysis, as he regrets not entering the previous trade and losing the profits he might have earned. So to recover these imaginary profits in his mind and his regret emotion, he end up making more losses in the market. कई बार ऐसा होता है कि आपसे कोई बहुत प्रॉपर सेटअप मिस हो जाता है आपके पर्सनल एंगेजमेंट की वजह से, या आप किसी और चार्ट को देख रहे होते हैं, और उस सिचुएशन में जब आप वापस आते हैं और उस ट्रेड को देखते हैं, तो आपको इस चीज का रिग्रेट होता है कि मुझसे एक इतनी इंपॉर्टेंट अपॉर्चुनिटी मिस हो गई। एंड उस रिग्रेट के अंदर और उस इमेजिनरी प्रॉफिट आपने जो लूज करे के इमोशन के अंदर आपको ये लगता है कि मुझे एक और ट्रेड लेना चाहिए, एंड आप बिना प्रॉपर एनालिसिस के एक और ट्रेड में एंटर कर जाते हैं जस्ट टू रिकवर दैट इमेजिनरी प्रॉफिट जो आपने इमेजिन किया था आपको आना चाहिए। So this can actually make you losses as well, because आपका next trade आपके पहले trade की वजह से affect हो जाता है. Now that we are clear with the scenarios of regret of not entering a trade, let's take a few scenarios of regret of entering a trade. Let's say a trader takes a trade based on his friend's suggestion without his own analysis, and this trade starts giving him losses. Even if it doesn't get close to your the stop loss that was defined your friend, this can also lead to regret and force you to close a trade too soon, even before the set stop loss of your friends. And when the trade actually moves in the predicted direction, you didn't make proper profits as you have already closed the trade. And this makes you feel regretful again of not trusting your friend. So this ends up becoming a loop of regrets, regret of not analyzing first, regret of not trusting your friend as well. There can be another scenario of regret of entering a trade. Let's say a trader enters into a trade which actually doesn't follow his trading plan. This can be due to many reasons, sometimes just a simple human error, or sometimes due to underlying emotional decisions like revenge trading that is urged to recover previous losses, or overconfidence due to continuous profitable trades, or sometimes you take trades just out of intuitions or hope. These emotional decisions can make you enter a trade that is against your trading rules. This can also lead to regret, as when you see the trade going in the opposite direction, you observe your actions and you realize that you didn't follow your trading rules. You end up regretting taking this particular trade, and it gets very difficult for you to accept these losses. So these are the four most important and most frequent scenarios that a trader experiences while trading, and regret emotion can get triggered because of these situations. It's very important for you to understand these four scenarios, so that whenever these scenarios occur with you, you are able to understand that regret emotion is something that is being triggered, and you might take decisions based on that emotion and not your rational decision. I hope you've understood all the four scenarios that I have discussed. Now, let's get to the most important section of my videos, that is the professional recommendations that I give to overcome this particular emotion while trading. Now that you've understood क्या क्या scenarios हो सकते हैं जिसके अंदर आपको regret trigger कर सकता है, let's see कि आपको क्या करना चाहिए इस emotion को control करने के लिए और इस emotion को अपने trading decisions को affect ना करने के लिए. The first and the foremost is be aware and acknowledge this emotion, regret. You can minimize the anticipation of regret influencing your trading decisions if you have an understanding and an awareness of the psychology of regret, as I discussed at the beginning of this video. The statements that I have mentioned, whenever you hear them in your head, you have to be aware. You have to accept that you are getting regretful, and this might affect your decisions. So the first and the foremost step is to become aware of this emotion and acknowledge it, that you are a human and you will feel it. The more you're aware of it, the more you'll be able to understand the response that you have in such situations. And you can rectify them at a personal level, or you can take help from a professional like me. But it's important to be aware of it and to acknowledge it. The second recommendation that I have for people who are facing this emotion while trading is create a trading rules and follow them judicially. Write your trading strategy in the most elaborative manner possible, in a step-by-step process. You might face some different scenarios which don't fall into your step. Include them as well as and when you're trading. Define clear instructions for the entry and the exit, and always stick to the rules defined by you, no matter what happens. Sometimes it will hit your stop losses, and sometimes it'll go much beyond your target as well. But don't let that affect your mind. Because if you actually look at the numbers, when you're sticking to the plan, you may miss a few opportunities, but you will always be profitable. So always believe in your strategy. Don't fear of not entering into a particular trade, and don't regret it later. Instead, enter into every trade that you are able to see and that fits into your setup. Believe in your strategy and the statistics that you have. If you are having the right risk reward ratio, if you are having the right winning ratio, then believe in your strategy and the statistics that you have for it from your back testing, and the number, and trust the numbers that you have and not your emotions. Third, and the very specific recommendation for regret emotion from my side is Don't over push or blame yourself. This is very important for every trader. Even if sometimes you don't follow these steps, you don't follow the rules of trading, you take trades without following, which are not part of your setup. Remind yourself, I'm repeating it again, remind yourself that you are a human being and it's okay to make mistakes. Don't give too much importance to one wrong trade. You will get a lot of opportunities to make more profits in the future. Don't let this single trade affect other decisions and your future profits. Just accept your mistake, register it so that you don't make it again. But don't overblame yourself for committing a single mistake. Give yourself a little room for mistakes in trading. If you look at your statistics, you have that room. If you are dealing with a strategy that has a good winning ratio and has a good RR, then you have the room to make some mistakes. Accept it that you're a human being and don't overblame yourself. Even if you're feeling regretful, accept that thing and just let it go. It was just a mistake. Just let that emotion flow. Don't overemphasize on that particular trait. The fourth recommendation that I have is risk management. Risk management is one of the most important principles which actually secures your profits in the back end. You might not feel its importance in the front end, but at the back end, it is actually working on securing your profits. Based on your capital and the strategy, always define the capital that you can risk. And you can actually afford to lose that capital in a trade. Quantify it, that how much capital you can lose in a day, in a week, and even in a year. Always define these and never exceed the amount that you have decided. These risk management rules will actually give you a room for error and help you make more profits than losses, even if you're wrong sometimes. Humanly, it is possible for you to be wrong. But these risk management principles will actually give you space to be wrong and still be profitable. Always make sure the amount you risk in every trade is within your limit, so that even if you lose it, it is something that you can afford and you won't feel the regret for one single trade. My fifth recommendation is make an emotional trading journal. I have been repeating this in a lot of videos and the importance of this. This technique is something that I have come up with a lot of clients of mine, and it has been proven to be very successful. They have actually seen the effect of this journal making on their trading. So this process is that you have to document all your trades in a journal and add an emotion column to it and mention on it if you enter or exit or even stay on any trade due to any emotion. It can be regret, hope, fear. You have to mention that emotion in that column. Once you document it, it'll be easier for you to be aware of it. And you can understand your response as well and find out a pattern in your emotional decision making. This will help you rectify, or you can take some professional help like from me to rectify these shortcomings of yours. Clear calculations are very important for human brain to understand exactly what is right and what is wrong. So make a proper trading journal to fix that inner voice inside you from guiding you incorrectly during trading. With this, we come to the end of this session. I'm sure you must have understood what is regret and the actual psychology behind this emotion and how it can influence your trading decisions and how it can force you into making losses. Regret is so incredibly painful at times that many traders avoid even putting on a trade of fear of having to face the regret of loss. Don't let this tendency to avoid regret influence your trading decision. Always remember that if you make a losing trade or you miss a profitable trade, you may feel a little regretful, but you can handle it. Don't try to avoid regret. Face it. You'll feel more free and powerful once you face this emotion. So don't ignore this emotion regret and instead acknowledge it. Follow all the recommendations that I have mentioned to overcome this emotion from affecting your actions and mindsets while trading. Become aware when you're feeling this emotion. Write down your trading plan in a step by step process and always follow it. Define your risk management rules and never overtrade. Make a trading journal and believe in the numbers it shows you. And most importantly, Accept it that you are a human and might make mistakes. Give yourself some space to commit errors. कभी भी इस regret emotion को ignore करने की कोशिश मत करो. उसे accept करो, उसे acknowledge करो, उसे observe करो अपनी trading setup में. And ये observe करो कि आप क्या decisions लेते हो जब आपको ये regret होता है. जो सारे recommendations मैंने आपको दिए हैं, उन चीजों को follow करो ताकि आप इस emotion को अपने ट्रेडिंग डिसीजन पे इफेक्ट होने से रोक सको. दैट इज अपना ट्रेडिंग प्लान लिखो, स्टेप बाय स्टेप प्रोसेस लिखो और उसे जुडिशियली फॉलो करो. अपने रिस्क मैनेजमेंट रूल्स को डिफाइन करो और उससे एक्सीड मत करो. कभी उससे ज्यादा ट्रेड मत करो. एक ट्रेडिंग जर्नल बनाओ और उसके अंदर इमोशंस का कॉलम डालो ताकि आपको समझ आ सके कि कितने कौन कौन से डिसीजंस हैं जो आप इमोशंस के बेस पे ले रहे हैं. एंड सबसे जरूरी ये है कि आप एक्सेप्ट करो कि आप एक ह्यूमन बीइंग हो और आप गलतियां कर सकते हो. और एक ट्रेड से आपकी ट्रेडिंग पे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. अगर आपने एक गलती कर भी दी तो आपके सेटअप में इतना रूम है एरर का और आप एक गलती की वजह से लॉसेस नहीं करोगे. देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज जो आपको फ्यूचर में भी मिलेंगी प्रॉफिट्स करने की. तो इंस्टेड ऑफ गिविंग टू मच इंपॉर्टेंस टू दैट पर्टिकुलर ट्रेड व्हिच मेड यू लूज, concentrate on the future trades. Regret is an emotion that can have a prolonged effect on your future trades. So make sure you process this as and when you experience it. Accept it, observe your reactions against it, so as to secure your future profits and your trading decisions. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you like the video, then please hit the like button and share it with your fellow traders. If you have any questions related to trading psychology or trading mindset, then do comment below. I will definitely personally answer all your queries. I'll be coming up with more solutions to trading psychology problems from psychological point of view. So do subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon for latest updates on our upcoming videos. Also, if you would like to book a personal trading psychology session with me, if you have been doing a lot of emotional trading and you feel that these emotions and your psychological mindset is affecting your trading decisions, then do WhatsApp at this given number and book your free psychological assessment session with me. Thanks for watching and see you soon with another emotion to discuss about. Till then, happy trading.